marketing and distribution. We want our students to ultimately be leaders in their field, and so we do a lot of competitions. Starting with a district competition here locally. Some of you might have served as judges before. If they're successful at the district competition, they can attend a state competition, usually in Virginia Beach. It's one of the largest convention halls. And this group just got off the plane from yesterday from our international competition down in Orlando, Florida. So rather than hear me speak again, I thought you'd rather see the product of what we produce in marketing education. It's a 10-minute presentation on growing Max's lacrosse stringing business, and I think you'll be very impressed by their skills. So, gentlemen, you want to sit up and begin?
Good morning, everyone.
I should introduce their full names. Max Laverty is the owner of the business, and his marketing director is Lux Kasha.
Right, yeah. So before we begin, I want to talk a little bit about how we got started as a business. So back when I started playing lacrosse in 7th grade, I absolutely fell in love with the sport, and I wanted to find anything and everything to do with it. So I went on to YouTube, and I found out about lacrosse stringing. And I found some really great videos that helped me learn how to string lacrosse sticks, which is where I really got into it. And now, 4 years later, I have developed my own lacrosse product and service, and I've become one of those YouTube stringers that I used to watch so many years ago. So the business that we run is a lacrosse business called MaxLax Strings that specializes in wax lacrosse mesh as well as a lacrosse stringing service. So our most popular product is MaxWax Mesh, which is a mesh that is infused with a special formula of wax that helps eliminate the frustration that comes along with playing in rainy conditions because it has some waterproof qualities. We also offer a lacrosse stringing service in which I use my 4 years of lacrosse stringing experience to attach the mesh in different ways to the lacrosse stick, which affects how a player throws and catches. So through our 4 years of operations, we've learned a lot of things, including being a manufacturer of mesh. We've also learned how to be retailers of our mesh and our stringing service on our website, MaxLaxStrings.com. And we're also wholesalers to over 20 plating and sports stores across the nation.
So after conducting our SWOT analysis, one of the strengths of our business is the expanding interest rate in lacrosse. According to the sports research consultant, lacrosse has had a steady growth rate of 200% over the past 7 years, ultimately creating a growing market of potential customers for our business.
Another one of our strengths is our simple manufacturing process. Because we're only adding the wax to an existing base mesh, it only takes about 30 seconds per piece to make, freeing up valuable time for Lash and I to spend on different aspects of the business. We also share a lot of the benefits that many small businesses do, including minimal overhead costs. Thanks to my loving and generous parents, we're able to operate out of our basement free of charge.
And the most important strength we have are the marketing and sales channels available and created by MaxLax Strings. Over the years, we've involved ourselves with local youth lacrosse leagues and local sporting goods stores, but Max and I know that there are so many other potential customers and companies that can benefit from our products and services. Now, with all of our strengths comes some of our weaknesses, and one of the weaknesses we have is our small marketing budget. As a small business, marketing is an important tool for growth, but over the years, we've been funneling our revenue back into our mesh and stringing supplies, which has deeply affected other aspects of our business, such as our branding and reputation. Now, we can overcome this issue by designating a small portion of our income towards our marketing budget.
Another one of our weaknesses is our difficulty in scaling. Because Lash and I are full-time high school students as well as varsity lacrosse players, we only have a few hours during the week to spend on the operations of the business, which makes it difficult to spend on necessary marketing to expand into new markets.
And through our professional experience, we've learned that branding and reputation is another weakness of ours. When it comes to selling our mesh to big-name companies, they may not deem us credible due to our inexperience with large orders. However, with the right marketing techniques, we can reassure these big-name companies that we are capable of providing them with the mesh they need.
Moving on to opportunities, which I'll go into further detail later in the presentation down here. We have setting up booths at lacrosse tournaments, creating a bigger website presence for MaxLaxStrings.com, expanding into the market of girls lacrosse stringing, and finally, selling our mesh to big-name lacrosse retailers. So, and then moving on to threats to our business. As much as wax lacrosse mesh seems like a niche market, there are other competitors. And although these companies are successful, there's still plenty of market left for us to provide our superior product.
So lacrosse stringing and its material has evolved from all string pockets to all mesh pockets. A potential threat to our business could be another type of material being used to string lacrosse heads, which could negatively affect our wax mesh sales. Max and I researched that almost 75% of lacrosse families and its players have a household income of $50,000 or more. And with that, another threat to our company could be an economic downfall, because since lacrosse is a leisure sport, families may not go out and actively buy new types of mesh.
Moving on to our expansion opportunities. Setting up booths at lacrosse tournaments would help us hand out our marketing material as well as sell our mesh and stringing service to players and their parents. So we've already started to set up booths at lacrosse tournaments, including the Fairfax Fall Brawl that's held at Robinson High School. And this has proved to be a great source of revenue for us. So what we plan on doing is getting in contact with lacrosse tournament organizers that'll help us determine which of their tournaments would be most profitable for us to attend.
Creating a larger online presence would also allow us to grow tremendously. We would fine-tune our website, making it more easier to navigate and much more accessible. Also, Max and I have taken steps into the installation of debit card and credit card transactions, since currently we use PayPal, which can be a little time-worthy.
We also plan on expanding into the market of girls lacrosse stringing. So girls lacrosse is actually a lot different than guys lacrosse, which results in a different stick and a different type of pocket. And after talking with girls lacrosse coaches and players, we found that whenever the strings broke in their stick, they would just go out and buy a whole brand new stick, which can be very expensive. So I decided to teach myself how to string girls lacrosse sticks in order to try and save them money. And the few stringings that we've done so far for girls lacrosse players, we've received great feedback, and we plan on being the first company to enter this niche market. We also plan on selling our mesh to big-name lacrosse retailers such as Lax World and Lacrosse Unlimited. These retailers are specific to lacrosse, unlike the Play It Again sports stores that we currently sell to, which would help us sell our mesh more frequently and year-round.
So, social media has played a huge role in the development of our business and in the acquisition of new customers. We currently have Twitter and Instagram pages, with Instagram having almost 1,400 followers. And over the course of the 4 years we've been in business, we've posted almost 200 videos on YouTube and have gained almost 2,500 subscribers. Max and I want to continue posting on these social media websites so we can gain as much attention as we need to gather new customers and also to stay in contact with the existing customers.
So this past summer, we attended the Play It Again Sports Summer Trade Show in order to get in contact with more store owners and help inform them about the benefits of selling MaxLax mesh in their stores. And this was very successful because a lot of the stores ended up picking up our mesh and are currently selling it. And so we plan on attending this tournament in the future, as well as attending LaxCon, hosted by US Lacrosse, that's in Baltimore every year. And both of these events would really help us gain essential contacts in the lacrosse community. Professional endorsements have also helped us increase our reputation in the lacrosse community. Greg Gorenlian, who is a professional lacrosse player for the New York Lizards, which is a professional team up in New York, he has been using our mesh for almost a year now, and he has really gave us a nice shout out and on all of his social media, so he's really helped us out there. And we plan on getting in contact with more Major League Lacrosse players who could help us endorse our mesh in the future to attract a younger customer base who really idolize these professionals.
Another small marketing activity we plan on doing is holding a lacrosse string seminar at our school, Loudon Valley. The purpose of this seminar would basically provide the basic knowledge to the local families and players on how to string a lacrosse head. So if ever a game time problem arose, they could easily fix their sticks on the spot. This ultimately helps us promote our brand and create a strong relation with the community and its members.
Moving on to our financial plan. Our current financial situation includes about $2,500 in our checking account, as well as over $6,000 in assets, including manufacturing tools, finished and unfinished mesh, merchandise, and lacrosse stringing supplies. The money that we would need to expand into the opportunities that we've already presented would total to about $10,000 and would pay for part-time employee salaries who would help us run our day-to-day operations, while Lash and I spent more time expanding into new markets. We'd also use it to pay for the initial tournament and trade show fees, but that would be paid back in the marketing and sales that these events would provide. And we'd also use it to increase our marketing and advertising budget, which would overall increase our brand awareness as well as strengthen our reputation.
So with the ideas presented, we hope to bring MaxLax Strings to its full potential. Over the years, Max and I have put in countless hours into the business and have learned valuable lessons along the way that'll help us reach our goals.
Some of the goals that we have in the 3 aspects of our business. For manufacturing, we'd like to increase our current inventory of mesh to about 1,000 pieces, which will help us be able to handle the orders from the big name lacrosse retailers. We'd also like to increase our retail sales on our website to about 30%, or to 30%, yeah. And then we'd also like to double the amount of stores that sell our mesh, whether they be played against sports stores or these new lacrosse-specific retailers. So thank you for your time.
Are you guys able to take questions?
Sure.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the girls' mesh and the boys?
All right, so I forgot to bring a stick this morning, but this is kind of like a guy's lacrosse pocket, so it's got mesh down here, and it's able to hold the ball more. It's a deeper pocket, which means that when players hit the stick, it's going to be harder to get out. With girls, the pocket is very flat, so it's a lot easier to come out, so that results in, it's not actually made of mesh, it's made of all string.
Why are they different?
Girls and guys lacrosse is pretty aggressive, so girls lacrosse is more finesse, and it's more about moving the ball around, getting everyone to touch the ball, and they can't actually hit each other with their sticks, while in guys lacrosse, there's body checks and stick checks all over your body. So, yeah, it gets a lot more aggressive. That results in a different kind of play. Yeah.
Is your market only a U.S. market? Is lacrosse played out inside the U.S.?
Yeah, it is. There's a tournament. It's a World Cup tournament actually, and there's teams from Netherlands, England. It's actually a pretty well-known sport, but obviously throughout the years it's been growing tremendously as well.
So, but yeah, it's the biggest in the U.S., then probably Canada, and then other than that, it's really growing in other countries, but so far it's mostly the United States.
Yes.
Do you have the capability with the way you do your mesh to actually patent the process?
Oh, we've looked into patenting, and we can patent the process, not the actual idea of wax mesh for our competitors. And so far we've found that it just wouldn't be worth it to patent either our wax formula or the way that we do it, but it is certainly possible.
Yes.
Are you both proceeding to college, and have you therefore talked about the business and in the university world and what expansion possibilities there are there?
Right.
Well, I'm going to college next year actually. Max is still a junior, but yeah, Max and I definitely discussed because there's a bunch of college teams and club teams that play lacrosse within the university. And we were just actually talking about this the other day, that if I went to college, how we would continue to run the business. And I was suggesting the idea that maybe we could try out and meet the teams of the universities and maybe give them some sample mesh to see what they think, and maybe we could just go on from there.
Yeah, I think that's a more money world. I think that might be more successful than the high school level.
We actually have given a sample mesh to the University of Virginia, which Max actually knows more about.
Yeah, I sent out a few samples to a few lacrosse coaches, but I think it was a little bit too close to their season and backing up with recruiting and stuff like that. So it's definitely something that I have to put a lot of time into to get in contact with.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to be doing your presentation in a competition?
We did this presentation at the state level, at the state DECA level, where we got first place, and then at nationals, which we just came back from, it was I think like 6 days. We competed against over 100 other businesses, just like this project, where they describe their business and their expansion opportunities. So we met with a lot of cool businesses, and that's where we presented this, but we didn't place.
I think that's all.
Any other questions for the young entrepreneurs? All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you.